This is Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Now from the Collins Aerospace Studio at the Nordloff Center in downtown Rockford, here's your host, Eric Wilson.
Welcome to another edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. If you can't tell, it's a very special episode. Not only is it Game 2 of Season 10, it's also Halloween. And at least I'm in the spirit of things, right? Yes, last year I was Iron Man, but this year I've kind of upped the game a little bit. My wife and daughter love me. All right, let's introduce our two teams. Last week you saw our very first game of the season. We already had a 300-point game. These two teams have the potential of duplicating that. Of course, that was Pecatonica's victory to put them into the second round. Let's welcome our two teams this week for the Halloween episode, the River Ridge Wildcats. This is River Ridge's third year competing in the tournament. They are hungry to get out of the first round. Doing that will make your long drive from Joe Davis County worth it, probably, right? Matthew is their captain. Tell us who you brought with you, Matthew.
The River Ridge team is Matthew, Avery, Michaela, and Arthur.
Welcome and good luck. Taking on the Dakota Indians. Dakota has a pretty long history with our tournament. In fact, Dakota has participated in every season. They've made it out of the first round 4 times. Their best finished was the Elite 8 in Season 1. Cooper is their captain, and Cooper, I'm sure you'd like to go to the Elite 8 and beyond this season. I'm sure you have the potential to do that. Introduce us to who you brought with you.
Starting on my left, we have Jackson, then Dawson, and then myself, and finally Nolan.
Welcome and good luck to Dakota. All right, as much as I would like to do this whole game with my helmet on, I don't think I could pull it off. So let's close the mask and get our game started, shall we? All right, contestants, our buzz-in round is how we begin every game. Hands on your buzzers. The two most important rules: wait for me to call your name before you answer, and then say that answer loudly and clearly. Y'all ready? Hands on your buzzers. Good luck. Here we go. Here's the first question. What creature, which is supposedly depicted in the so-called surgeon's photograph taken in 1934, is said to live in a lake in the Scottish Highlands? Cooper.
The Loch Ness Monster.
That is correct. Turns out that surgeon's photo is a hoax, but that has not stopped people from searching. Dakota gets the first points of the game. In what film, whose protagonist runs a savings bank in Bedford Falls, does an angel show George Bailey how things would be if he had never been born? That Christmas classic is called It's a Wonderful Life. What fictional group, whose members include Baby John and Action, sings "Gee, Officer Krupke," and are the white rivals of the Sharks in West Side Story? Also the name of our Jess Lipson's favorite football team, the Jets. During what uprising in 17th century Virginia did rebels opposed to Governor William Barclay issue the Declaration of the People and burn Jamestown? Named for Nathaniel Bacon, that was Bacon's Rebellion. What part of the human upper extremity is known as the pollex, has 2 phalanges, and has a saddle-shaped joint that allows it to be opposable? Cooper.
The thumb.
Thumbs up. That's right. You got it. In Aldous Huxley's dystopian novel Brave New World, what 20th century industrialist is venerated for philosophical teachings such as history is bunk? That industrialist is Henry Ford. What playwright wrote about Septimus tutoring Thomasina in Arcadia and about 2 characters from Hamlet in Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead? Dawson.
Shakespeare.
Incorrect. River Ridge, you can take these points and get on the board. That last one's actually about to be a revival in Canada with Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan, who played Merry and Pippin in Lord of the Rings. Tom Stoppard is that playwright. Manama is the capital of what Middle Eastern country that is linked to the mainland by the King Fahd Causeway? That is Bahrain. What non-SI unit of area is equal to about 2.5 acres, or a square 100 meters on a side? Matthew.
Kilometer.
Incorrect. Dakota, these points could be yours. Cooper.
A square hectometer.
Incorrect. Really close. Hectare is what we needed. What city is home to the Arima Onsen Hot Springs, was devastated by the 1995 Great Hanshin earthquake, and is the source of a prized Japanese beef? Jackson.
Tokyo.
Incorrect. River Ridge. That beef is Kobe beef. What man fired CEO Parag Agrawal and shared a picture of himself carrying a sink in October 2022 after purchasing Cooper?
Elon Musk.
That's right, after purchasing the social media company Twitter. What alliterative nickname arose for the 47-ton German M. Gerät howitzer artillery guns that were Cooper?
Big Bertha.
That's right, used in the battles of Liège and Verdun. What show, whose season 4 soundtrack opens with Separate Ways and includes Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill, depicts monsters from Cooper?
Stranger Things.
That's right, Monsters from the Upside Down. Separate Ways, of course, a song by Journey, destroyed by many karaoke singers across the world. And that long buzzer means our time is up. Dakota's off to a pretty strong start, 50 points. River Ridge isn't on the board yet, but we've got a lot of games to play. Our volleyball round is next. Dakota's off to a pretty strong start here for our Halloween weekend edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. They have 50. River Ridge isn't on the board yet, but that'll happen this round for sure. Before we get to our volleyball round, a very special thank you to our judge, Brad Fisher. Brad is one of those guys where every time you ask him if he wants to help out or can help out, he says yes. He says yes with a smile. Brad is the head editor of the IHSA Scholastic Bowl State Series. And I've said this before, Brad, but our game is better because you are part of it. Thank you for being here. All right, contestants, our volleyball is a conferring round. Work as a team, but answers need to come from the captains, as Matthew and Cooper. Matthew, you and River Ridge get our first volleyball question. Are you ready? Here it comes. In 2022, Dina Boluarte became what South American country's first female president after Pedro Castillo was impeached and detained in its capital, Lima?
Peru.
Yes, that's right. Lima probably helped. Looks like your whole team helped you with that. And you got those points and you're on the board. Cooper, here's your first one. The AES and RSA algorithms perform what task which encodes a message so only those with a certain key can read it?
Encryption.
That was a pretty confident answer. Yes, you are right. Matthew, what Roman politician was the target of Cicero's Philippics and lost the Battle of Actium to Octavian, after which he and Cleopatra committed suicide?
Julius Caesar.
Incorrect. You're close. He is actually known for his friends Roman's countryman speech in Shakespeare's Julius Caesar play, but it was Mark Antony who we were looking for. Back over to Dakota. What work by Art Spiegelman about the Holocaust was the first graphic novel to win a Pulitzer Prize? A Tennessee school board actually banned this book about a year ago. Mouse. Back to River Ridge. What artist painted a crumbling pillar inside a torso in The Broken Column and included hummingbirds in a self-portrait inspired by her Mexican roots?
Frida Kahlo.
Incorrect. It's Kahlo. You said calling. Kahlo. Frida Kahlo. Back over to Dakota. What name is shared by an outdoor apparel company founded by Ivan Chouinard and an arid region of southern Chile and Argentina? Last year, he gave the company away to a trust designed to fight climate change. That's Patagonia. Back to River Ridge. What novel, whose protagonist works at the Liberty Paint Factory and lives in Harlem, features an unnamed black narrator and is by Ralph Ellison? That was Invisible Man. Back to Dakota. What religious denomination, the main target of the Know Nothing movement, had no adherents elected president until 1960 when John F. Kennedy won the office?
Catholic.
That's right. Roman Catholics. We only had 2 Catholic presidents, Kennedy and Biden. Back to River Ridge. What 3-word term whose first word begins with S denotes the splitting up of responsibilities within a government into branches? It's where we get our executive, legislative, and judicial. The concept is separation of powers. And that is the end of the round. We're out of time. So River Ridge on the board. You've got 10. Dakota expanded its lead a little bit with 70. We're halfway through the game, and our next round has a lot of points available in it. It's our lightning round. But first, you get to play at home with the Bergstrom bonus question, and we'll be right back with the answer.
The first president to win the Nobel Peace Prize, which former commander-in-chief once boasted that he felt strong as a bull moose?
Dakota is still in charge here on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl, at least halfway through the game. Halfway through means the Bergstrom bonus question. You saw this already at home. Our contestants haven't. No points on the line, but pizza and pasta from Lino's of Rockford. Hands on your buzzers. This is a traditional buzz-in question other than the prize being the pizza. Let me know if you know the answer to this. The first president to win a Nobel Peace Prize, which former commander-in-chief once boasted he felt strong as a bull moose? Cooper.
Teddy Roosevelt.
That is right. You got it. 26th president was born in New York City 165 years ago this week. Congratulations. Enjoy your pizza. Enjoy this brief 2 minutes of a catching your breath before we come back for more action here. Our NECA IBEW lightning round is fast. You'll need to catch your breath right after this. It's lightning time here on the Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. Dakota's in the lead with 70 points. River Ridge is on the board with 10, but there are a lot of points available in our lightning round. In fact, if you run one of these categories, it's 100 added to your score. We had a coin flip earlier. That means Dakota will go first in this NECA IBEW lightning round. The 3 categories, Cooper, you have to choose from are Age of Discovery, Judges on The Voice, and M.
Let's go with Age of Discovery.
All right. Answer the following about European naval exploration in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. That's pretty descriptive. Also seems pretty tough. We'll see what happens. 60 seconds is on the clock. And then, Matthew, you will have 30 seconds to get to whatever questions they don't answer correctly or pass on. And then remember, both teams, you can pass. Don't let the clock eat up too much time on you on just one single question. Are you ready for your first one, Cooper?
Mm-hmm.
Answer the following about European naval exploration in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. Initial captain of the first voyage to circumnavigate the globe.
Magellan.
Correct. South African Cape reached by Bartolomeo Diaz.
Cape Cod.
Incorrect. Portuguese prince known as the Navigator.
Pass.
Magnetic orienting device essential to ocean exploration.
Compass.
Correct. First European to reach India by sea.
Dakota.
Say that again.
Dakota.
We'll take that. Correct. A main triangular sail hung at a 45-degree angle.
Pass.
Modern-day country explored by John Cabot.
Canada.
Correct. Mythical water feature that Juan Ponce de Leon supposedly sought.
Fountain of Youth.
Correct. Columbus's Nina and Pinta were this type of speedy ship. And that is our time. No time to answer there. Pretty solid round. You got 5 correct. You're up to 120 points. That means half of them are left for you, Matthew. One of them we haven't even heard yet, so I'll read them as quickly as I can. Hopefully you can answer quickly, and we'll get through all of them so you have a chance for all 50 of these points. Are you ready? 30 seconds isn't a lot of time, but I'll do as best as I can for you. Answer the following about European naval exploration in the 15th, 16th, and 17th centuries. South African Cape reached by Bartolomeo Diaz.
Cape of Hope.
Be more specific.
Cape of Good Hope.
That's correct. Portuguese prince known as the Navigator.
Henry the Navigator.
Correct. A main triangular sail hung at a 45-degree angle.
Pass.
Columbus's Nina and Pinta were this type of speedy ship.
Pass.
Italian mapmaker, the namesake of America.
Amerigo Vespucci.
That's correct, and that's our time. 3 of them right out of the 5 that were left. That's pretty solid. So there's only 2 left on the board. I'll give the answers really quickly and we'll move on. The main triangular sail hung at a 45-degree angle. That's a lateen sail. And the Nina and the Pinta were caravels. His third ship, the Santa Maria, was a lot bigger. All right, 2 categories left for you, Matthew. Judges on the voice or M.
M.
All right, we're going to leave the voice by the wayside. By the way, that last category is probably one of the toughest, certainly the toughest this season, maybe the toughest we've had in a very long time here on Quiz Bowl. Answer the following about the letter M. That's as specific but also as generic as this category is. Same rules apply for the first run through. Cooper, same rules apply for you on the way back around. Remember the pass option. Matthew, are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go. Answer the following about the letter M. Decimal value of Roman numeral M.
100.
Incorrect. Code in which M is represented by 2 dashes.
Pass.
Author who created James Bond and Bond's boss, M.
Pass.
Quantity denoted M in E equals MC squared.
Mass.
Correct. French scientist who cataloged 110 astronomical objects with numbers beginning M.
Pass.
American department store whose stock symbol is M.
Macy's.
Correct. Amount of solute per liter of solution, abbreviated M.
Pass.
Avant-garde composer of 433 who wrote a book titled M.
Pass.
German car maker that produced the M-Class, now known as GLE.
Mercedes.
Correct. Amino, and we didn't get a chance to read that last one. 3 of them right, you're up to 70. So it's a 50-point spread, but there's 7 left. And Dakota, you could widen that gap pretty quickly with these, but you only have 30 seconds to get to them. And I'll read as fast as I can for you, Cooper. Are you set?
Yep.
Here we go. Answer the following about the letter M. Decimal value of Roman numeral M.
1000.
Correct. Code in which M is represented by 2 dashes.
Morse code.
Correct. Author who created James Bond and Bond's boss, M.
Pass.
French scientist who cataloged 110 astronomical objects with numbers beginning M.
Pass.
Amount of solute per liter of solution, abbreviated M.
Pass.
Avant-garde composer of 433 who wrote a book titled M.
Pass.
And we still didn't have time to get to that last one. So 2 more. You're up to 140. Here are the ones that no one got. The author who created James Bond and his boss M is Ian Fleming. The French scientist who cataloged astronomical objects, that's Charles Messier. The amount of solute per liter of solution that's abbreviated M is molarity. The avant-garde composer of 433 who wrote the book titled M is John Cage. And the one we didn't get to was about an amino acid abbreviated M is methionine. It's good I didn't even have to pronounce it. It didn't matter. All right, we're moving on to our final round. Doubled up. Dakota has doubled up River Ridge 140 to 70. But speaking of doubled up, each of our questions in our next round has double the points. They're up to 20. We'll see how the final challenge goes after this break. One more round to play this weekend on Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl. We'll wrap up our Halloween edition with this final challenge. Here's where the scores sit. Dakota has 140. River Ridge has 70. River Ridge, don't let that 70-point gap scare you because we've seen teams come back from bigger gaps, and with each of these questions worth 20 points, you could close that gap very quickly. This is a buzz-in round, contestants, and remember the 2 most important rules. Wait for me to say your name before you answer, and say that answer loudly and clearly. You ready for the final challenge? Good luck, everybody. Here we go. What kind of celebrations include the Iranian Nowruz, the Vietnamese Tet, and a Chinese festival that takes place Jackson?
New Year.
That is correct. We celebrate ours January 1st. Dakota gets the first points of the round. In May 2023, what Major League Baseball franchise announced a new stadium agreement that allows the team to move to Las Vegas by 2025? That's the Oakland A's. What 6-letter term describes saturated hydrocarbons that have the maximum possible number of attached hydrogen atoms, such as methane or propane? Matthew.
Alkane.
Alkane is correct. You got it. In what capital city was an alley near the Hamilton Hotel the site of over 150 deaths in a 2022 crowd rush, which took place in its Itaewon district? Capital of South Korea, Seoul. What title character thwarts the plans of his employer, Count Almaviva, in a Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart comic opera about his marriage to Susanna? The opera is The Marriage of Figaro. We needed Figaro there. Which grandson of Chandragupta and third ruler of the Mauryan Empire converted to Buddhism after winning Dawson?
Ashoka.
That's right, after winning the Kalinga War and wrote many rock edicts. What poet wrote about a man guttering, choking, drowning with froth-corrupted lungs from a gas attack in his anti-war poem, Duce et decorum est? He fought in World War I, which is what this poem describes, Wilfred Owen. The nickname Little Green Men 1 was given to an example of what radio sources which are rotating neutron stars? Cooper.
Quasars.
Incorrect. River Ridge, you could take these points. Close the gap a bit. Matthew.
Nebula.
Incorrect. They pulse as they rotate. Those are pulsars. What business, which is the world's largest music publisher, makes Bravia branded televisions, Xperia phones, and the PlayStation console? Cooper.
Sony.
That's right. That PlayStation clue is pretty big. What weather phenomenon rubs its back upon the window panes in a love song by T.S. Eliot and comes on little cat feet in a Carl Sandburg poem? Jackson.
Snow.
Incorrect. River Ridge. Go ahead, Matthew.
Fog.
That is correct. In fact, the Sandburg poem is called Fog. Calabria lies at the eastern end of what strait that separates Sicily from the Italian mainland? Matthew.
Strait of Gibraltar.
Incorrect. Dakota, you take these points. That's the Strait of Messina. You didn't need those points, though. 200 was enough. You are moving on, Dakota. Congratulations. I thought I heard applause start. I didn't want to interrupt those applause. River Ridge, this is the hardest part of the game. We always have to say goodbye to somebody, but we really appreciate you being here. We know it's not easy to get here. You have kind of a far drive. How many of you are seniors? Just Matthew. All right. Oh, and Avery. So the rest of you, so we've got Lucius and Aislinn and the rest of your team who subbed in and out. We hope to see all of you next week, or next season. Next week we'll find out who Dakota is playing, because that's when Hananiga takes on Byron. Also, this is my daughter's birthday weekend, so happy birthday, Allison. Love you. And we'll see you next week for another edition of Bergstrom State Line Quiz Bowl.